Hello, beloved. Welcome back for another episode on my podcast. Anyways, I'm having so much fun recording these, if you can't tell by now. But I want to talk about in this episode, and this one complements one of the episodes that I talked about healthy boundaries. And December, December is so much going on, right? The holidays cause a lot of commotion, a lot of movement, a lot of activities, in that. So it's almost like it's a lot of action going on and a lot of busyness. And that includes being with friends and family and so forth. And, having all these events and activities. So at times it could be a bit overwhelming. So I'll be honest though, for a long time, December was never my favorite month for that reason, because especially if you live in cities, like very populated, heavily populated areas where, there's traffic like crazy, and traffic increases even more during the holidays. And so with that comes a lot of passive aggressiveness as well as aggressiveness of getting from one place to another. And it can be seen through the way, when people are driving and when they're walking. um, so for a long time, I found it very difficult to manage to be, in these areas, these heavily populated areas, because also the fact that I'm so empathetic and can feel all the energies. I can feel all the anxiety, all the stress of getting to one place to another, and having everything um, together. Because I was also one of them who was always stressing about setting up, events or doing all these social activities and trying to be perfect about it. And, from that also being involved with a lot of family time as well. And there is a lot in my family, though, a lot of like ancestral healing that I had to do in my family dynamics. And so this is what this episode's about, is to be able to deal with family dynamics, especially during the holidays. Doesn't always have to be, in the holidays, but it could be at any time. But most specifically in the holidays is when you can end up being with certain situations, certain families that you don't always agree with, or sometimes they may rub you the wrong way. um, and there's also the energetics of it as well. And so I want to talk about 5 tips to share with you, to help you. Actually, the intentions to help you be able to manage these energies for this month of December, as well as do some ancestral healing and balancing as well if you're finding yourself being irritated by certain family members, or finding it very difficult to be around certain family around the holidays. If that is, something that you're preparing yourself to be around. So, sometimes you may have family trauma or drama. I think they go hand in hand sometimes. Um, so yeah, so these are some of the things that I use myself during the times of like when I had to go to be in certain family events and activities, be around, family that where I found that there was a lot of ancestral pattern and healing that was still going on. And this is something that I still do on a daily basis myself to keep myself balanced as well. And so important to keep this, because otherwise you'll just explode one day. And so this is just to keep yourself balanced and to avoid any type of outburst, anything that may be, causing you anxiety as well, but helping you stay healthy too, because anxiety, stress and all those things can be pretty heavy on our body. And I know I dealt a lot with that myself, because one of the things that was anxiety and stress played a big toll on my body. So I had to keep myself healthy in like different ways by being more conscious of what it was that I was doing to my body whenever I would get stress and anxiety. And for example, just like bad eating habits of like, certain food that wasn't always the best, for this physical body. So that's where I'm paying more attention on those areas to um, be more conscious of that and pay attention to when that anxiety and that stress goes up and when it's time to just maybe um, take note of it and then do something about it, but in a healthier way, right? Um, so that's really what the intention of this like episode is, and this whole message around it is to be able to deal with that, family dynamic of the drama and the trauma, and at the same time be able to heal, but and also maintain that balance within yourself. Because that's really where it all starts, is within yourself. And it's really about like how we react to certain um patterns, right? Or certain words that are being said by others that may rub us the wrong way, right? Trigger us is another word. Trigger, is also another way of saying activation, because within that activation, that means that there is some form of healing that may be needed within ourselves, within you, and within myself, because I look at this, as being a mirror for one another. And so as a reflection of some of those things that is probably not for you, and seeing where those areas need to be cleaned up, transmuted, and just shifted, into a higher frequency of energy. So, I mean, we're all born into specific families, right, for a reason. And our soul has elected to be a part of that family for a reason as well. And your heart, which connects to your soul, knows what's best. And most of it is for lessons learned, but also to break, a lot of generational karmic cycles within that family, because that all starts within yourself. So the more that you're able to shift in yourself, the more that you're able to still remain balanced, even in the midst of chaotic and drama and trauma, the more that it increases your ascension and breaks other generational karmic cycles. And I'm not saying that you're going to be the martyr or the one bearing all the suffering and pain for your entire family. No, all we're saying is that you're going to just see the areas that you need, to work on within yourself, but at the same time, taking care of yourself too. So just being aware of those areas that are becoming too much overwhelming, too much for you energetically, or that feel that they have been depleting you in some way, and the areas that you need to pull away. And that is, healthy for yourself, but also healthy for others too, because it doesn't help anyone if you're always stressed and in anxiety. And then that's impacting your health. And it's not going to serve anybody, not even yourself, and not even the world and the universe itself. So it's really about keeping yourself balanced and maintaining yourself, because as we're human, right, we're still living in this world of the matrix. And so we're dealing with a lot of polarity and duality these days because of the shifting frequencies of the earth. And I was also going to say the shifting poles, because it does feel like the poles are shifting. So that would explain some of the weirdness with the climate as well. So that's really where I want to jump into, these 5 things to help you deal with these dynamics and cope with some of the stress and anxiety, especially during the holidays, as you get together with family time. And, if that is what you're planning to do. So first of all, just know that when you're feeling really stressed or anxiety or depleted, burnt out, take a break. Just get some alone time if you can. And just, like if you're say a parent and you have like others, who are depending on you, or you have young children. So just make, a special arrangement where, you could probably do this through a calendar, set, time aside that is for like you time. And that could be spending time at a spa, spending time at some kind of location that is like a retreat for like meditations, or even just sitting, like carving out just 5 minutes every day, every morning to just do certain meditation for yourself. And just tuning in to your own silent, sacred space within yourself, because that is where you also get your most deepest and sacred messages as well, within your own soul, advice, guidance, and support, because it's so important to connect to our soul. It's also recharging us in a way, knowing that we are 99% mostly spiritual, and the other 1% is all physical. And that 1% is actually just not even like a real, like, physical world, because when you look at it from a quantum space, is all just pure energy, really. Um, So the more that we tap in within ourselves and our soul, we're also recharging all of that physical area as well in the quantum field, and connecting to the collective quantum field too, and serving as a recharge point for others too in that space. And so the number two thing is also to do like breathing techniques. So doing certain breathing techniques, like for example, in yoga, they talk about ways to breathe in, or like when you exercise, there's also a lot of breathing of inhaling and exhaling. So just taking really deep breaths, very simple deep breaths. I'm not looking for like anything fancy, but just doing like a simple deep breath and a deep exhale, like through the nose, and then through the nose, most of it through the nose. So just inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose as well. And we could do it together now. And just releasing all that stress and anxiety as you inhale love, and you exhale, letting go of that stress and that anxiety. Ooh, feel like we needed some more breathing in that. So you can go ahead and do that as much as you like. And number three is that on a daily practice, just increase your frequency, your vibe, your vibrational frequency in, like, at the start of the day, right? For example, like doing the taking a break, right? Doing a meditation and doing those breathing techniques, and then just increasing your vibrational frequency really high, to the point that once especially like when you're about to go have family time, family holidays and all that, that you try to increase your frequency and your vibration as high as you can, so that when you are there, that um anything that feels off or that does not feel right in your gut, in your solar plexus, or feels kind of yucky, that it won't really bother you as much. So the more that you can do this, before going to any event or any location, the easier it is to manage any other lower frequency vibrational energies or words from others that, may cause triggering, that isn't always, a comfortable feeling, or that just doesn't feel pleasant, right? So just want to keep your vibes as high as possible. And you could do that by doing the techniques from 1 and 2 that I just mentioned and combining those and putting them together and adding, certain like um affirmations in that and declarations and proclamations and using words that are high vibes for you that make you feel really good in yourself. And so the number 4 thing that is so important also is to get rest. So I know the number 1 we said about take a break, but taking a rest could mean like take a nap or just get some sleep time. Because I find like during the holidays, we're always on this like speed to get everything done, especially in the months of December. When I get everything done before the end of the year, before it's December 31st, get it all packed up and before we get into this new year. It's almost it turns into like this rat race. So just remember to take a rest and also get some nap time in there and try to sleep some more. Um, a lot of this also for my own advice too, because I also remind myself of all of this as well. And I know that it could be like a lot of high tension in the month of December for that reason. And so just give yourself, be like a kitty cat and take some naps and get some rest as needed. When your body really feels like it's exhausted, then it's important to take that rest. And the rest is also so important because in December, there's also a lot of heightened energy of the Christ consciousness that has been upgrading us. So there is a lot of DNA activation and upgrades that are occurring for all of us as well. So at times it may feel like you're extra exhausted than usual. And that's because of the astrological events and also because of these other Christ consciousness type energies, especially when you have the portals like and there's several kinds of portals. Actually, there is the 1212 portal, there's the um solstice portal. Um so yeah, and then you have the new moon and the full moon. So it's a lot of energies. And then we have like some of the Schumann resonance also that has been high peaking, at a high frequency energy. If you haven't heard of the Schumann resonance, that's really like the heartbeat of the earth. So it has to do with the magnetic field, electromagnetic field. And we're also electromagnetic as well. So we are connecting to the earth. So we may feel like all of these energies and combinations of energies together. So that's why rest is important to listen to your body when it needs it. And let's take a deep breath for the last one. I was just feeling that because I feel like we all just need to take a breather. Need to do a lot of that around this time and really around the times that we feel like we are being worked and overworked and doing so much, right? So the last one that I want to talk about is to take walks in nature. Yeah, just connect with nature and be out in more walks if you can. Exercise, right? Also, just as an addition to this, right? Taking walks, kind of like an exercise, but also including some exercise time for yourself because when we exercise, and this also includes dancing, because dancing is like a workout too, right? But it's also fun because you get to listen to music and move your body. And what it does, it produces these endorphins in your body, in your brain. And it's almost like this natural drug that you have within yourself, right? This is all scientifically proven. It's like this natural drug that is generated in your body that creates a happier mood, happier chemicals, let's just say, within yourself. So it's a natural way of like getting high, pretty much. Natural way for you to be happier, to change your whole mood. And so, and since it is the holidays, it is a lot of dancing as well, music. So do take advantage of the dancing as well. A lot of dancing if you need to just shake it off, shake off anything that just doesn't like no longer serves you, right? That you don't need from others to be projecting anything that's not serving you in any way. And you don't need to carry any of those negative impacts from others and even from yourself, right? And how you may be talking to yourself and what it is that you're feeling in that moment. So these are the five, sacred keys for managing and maintaining yourself during times of like being around families, trauma or drama. And it's also going to help with the ancestral healing within yourself too. The more that you practice this and being aware of the things that may be coming up for you and paying attention to certain patterns that are ready to just be completed and be done with, and doing your own ceremonial rituals around that to complete it and end it. And so certainly coming back to this episode and listening and re-listening to some of those areas and tips as well, and doing some of those exercises to help you move along these busy times and these high frequency of energies that we're all getting ready for the new year coming, and so much more, because the energies are just going to continue to increase and expand us in a much more conscious way during this ascension, this great awakening. And that's really what's going on with the whole planet, with why it seems like it may have increased even more so. Like it seems much more, busier than usual, than before. Because there is so much that is being released, but as well that is being completed in all of us and also in the collective. So be well and enjoy the holidays. And I'll be connecting with you in another episode. Sending you love.